unbelievable year last year, 9-1.
You won 9 in a row, didn't you?
9 in a row, and played for the championship. And we got down in the first half. But what I'll say about this team and about these two guys here is we went into the second half with, let's win the second half. Let's do better than what we did, and we did. We won the second half. Is 8-7 the second half.
Wow!
So they didn't quit. That's the big thing I'm trying to talk about.
Absolutely,
is when it got tough.
Yes, sir.
They dug in.
Absolutely.
They started. They got together, and you saw them pick up the pace a little bit. When they went for a blitz, you saw it a little harder. They kept. They're ferocious.
Yes, sir. Hello, welcome to the Bible, the Basketball, the Briefcase podcast. I'm Jay Martin, your host. Welcome to episode 4, and I'm so excited to have some incredible guests with me here today. I have Coach Bobby Eubanks, Coach Rod Weaver on this side of the table, and over here I've got two incredible young men who are starting their senior years of football at Abundant Life. We've got Brandon Walker and Nate Minton who are here with us today. We're going to be talking to them in just a few moments. We'll be talking about their upcoming football season, talk about last football season, really just a lot of things that are interesting, I think, to a lot of viewers, because we're going to be talking about 8-man football in Arkansas, which is really a big deal now. And so I'm very excited to be talking about that as well. But we like to start with the devotion, and I love Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. And I have the Message translation. It says, "Do you see what this means? All these pioneers who blazed the way, all these veterans cheering us on. It means we better get on with it. Strip down, start running, and never quit. No extra spiritual fat, no parasitic sin. Keep your eyes on Jesus, who both began and finished this race we're in. Study how he did it, because he never lost sight of where he was headed, that exhilarating finish in and with God. He could put up with anything along the way, cross, shame, whatever, and now he's there in the place of honor right alongside God. When you find yourselves flagging in your faith, go over that story again, item by item. That long litany of hostility he plowed through. That will shoot adrenaline into your souls." I love to read the Apostle Paul because he used a lot of sports references and applied that to our walk with the Lord. I was pleased to run 9 marathons in 7 states, and doing that taught me a lot about perseverance and prayer. I only got through some of those marathons because of prayer by the end, but I came back and I did a series called 26.2 Discipleship, where we can talk about and look at how running and how athletics can help us also grow in our faith, and there's so many parallels to our faith. I'm excited for our guests today. They've dedicated themselves to a team and to accomplish a goal together. But it isn't easy. I remember 2-a-day practices in August, and let me tell you, it's hot out there, guys, and I don't think it's going to be getting any cooler. But you have blood, sweat, and tears by the time you get through a football season. But it's all worth it when you come together as a team to accomplish a greater purpose. And for faith, the big picture is helping others to meet Jesus as we grow in our faith. And someday we cross that finish line and hear him say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." In sports, we want to succeed, and I hope these young men and this team has an incredible year. In our faith, we must succeed and move forward in growing in our faith with Jesus. So thank you so much, and why don't we just open with a word of prayer. God, thank you for these coaches and these 2 students. God, I just pray that you would bless them in their upcoming season. Keep everyone safe. Keep them from the heat that's out there right now, and help them just to have incredible years. We thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Well, guys, as I said, I am so excited to have each of you here today. What a blessing. And what I want to do is just kind of go around and let you talk a little, and then I may just throw questions out and whoever can answer it. But why don't we start with you, Coach Eubanks?
Yes, sir.
And tell me a little bit about your background. I know you played football, where you played football, how you got into coaching, and so forth.
Sure. Jay, I'd like to first say thank you for letting us come to your office and talk about football and what it means to us. And being from a great school, Abundant Life, we're just so proud of our school, and that we get an opportunity to represent our school. And I can't think about three better people that represent Abundant Life and what that school means. So thank you for that, and giving us the opportunity and honor to come down and not only represent the school, but represent Christ.
Absolutely.
So, my journey here has been a blessing for me. I know a lot of times I hear kids say, "Coach, boy, we're glad you're here." Well, I'm really glad to be there and be able to maybe have a small influence on their life, taking my past and being able to pass it on to them. And all three of these guys have had an impact on me in a very positive way. I see a little bit of myself in these two guys, but a lot better me. And Coach Rod, I can't say enough about Coach Rod. I just think the world of him, and he's been an inspiration to me this whole year. Really looking forward to this year.
Yes, sir.
We had an unbelievable year last year, 9-1.
You won 9 in a row, didn't you?
9 in a row, and played for the championship. And we got down in the first half. But what I'll say about this team and about these two guys here is we went into the second half with, let's win the second half. Let's do better than what we did. And we did. We won the second half. It was 8-7 the second half.
Wow.
So they didn't quit. That's the big thing I'm trying to talk about.
Absolutely.
Is when it got tough.
Yes, sir.
They dug in.
Absolutely.
They started, they got together, and you saw them pick up the pace a little bit. When they went for a blitz, you saw it a little harder. They kept they're ferocious.
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes,
both
sir.
these guys here, and a lot of our teammates are really not only good athletes, they're Christian men that are going to be super in their adult life.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, let me just ask Coach Rod, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and coaching here at Abundant Life, and so forth.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you, for having us. God is amazing.
Yes.
He's good all the time. And, so I'm originally from Panama City, Florida. I was born in Escambia County, which is Pensacola. 2018, Hurricane Michael, Cat 5 hurricane, went through the Panhandle. Displaced a lot of families, ruined a lot of lives, and I went back. My family and I, we evacuated to Orlando, Florida, with some great church friends of ours, and we barely made it out past the time frame that they gave us to get out of Panama City to evacuate. But anyway, so we packed up and we moved to Arkansas because my brother-in-law was stationed here in the Air Force. And so he comes to me and he gives me a key, and he's like, "Rod, I think this would be a great move for you and Courtney," which is my wife. And at the time we had 3 children. Now we have 4. We started over 3 years ago, almost 4 years. Her birthday will be this Sunday. Wow. So I went to a high school called Rutherford High School, home of the Rams. I'm very proud of them. Right now, hopefully they're on the up and up. They have some great coaches, guys I played ball with. Well, one guy I played ball with. I've been coached by, I think, one of them, and the rest kind of grew up watching them play as a young fella. Fortunately, my high school career was cut short. Bad decisions I made in my life. Really bad decisions. And I don't live in regret of it anymore. God's redeemed me from the regret, the things I did in my past.
Yes.
And I didn't enjoy the college sports because of what I did in high school. I didn't put the academic part first, and I lived my life. I ate weights, I sat in the weight room, I kept my body healthy, but I didn't keep my mind fresh for school. I had the want to, I didn't have the act behind the want to get the job done.
Yes.
So, my football career was cut short. All that talent was quote unquote wasted, but they gave me an opportunity to go back and pour in what I've messed up. And God has really opened that door and given me the avenue. So I decided to go back because I wanted to play college ball. And I started playing semi-pro football. And we were a good team. We were a phenomenal team.
Where was that?
In Panama City.
Okay.
The Coastal Destroyers.
Oh, wow.
Desmond Brown. I was running back for them. We had several running backs. So the guys a little bit younger than I was, so I did not. The part that really stunk for me the most was I was more the bruiser guy. You know, I didn't score all the touchdowns. Actually didn't score a single touchdown. I was the blocking guy. I was a fullback. You know, so I didn't really get rewarded with the touchdowns. You know, but it was. I guess now looking back, I can say it's okay because I opened holes and made things happen for the guys that were behind me. But you know, I started my coaching career with a Pop Warner team, Panama City Tornadoes. And it excelled. It just went up and up and up, and it just kept moving forward. So I finally had an opportunity to be the offensive coordinator. And we broke a lot of records, a lot of kids who never played ball before. And that's when I really understood my calling. You know, even though I made some regretful movements in my past, that did not determine my future and where I'm at today. So just a quick story about why I'm here at Abundant Life. So I was working for Amazon. And I was like, this is not for me anymore, you know. And so I started interceding and I started praying. And there's they know her Dr. Humphreys. I know her as Donna, you know, but respectfully, I call her Dr. Humphreys by her professional name in a professional setting. We go to church together. And God brought her before me and said, hey, you and your wife, Courtney, need to go sit before her and have her help you guys revise your resumes. So I said, okay, cool. All right, God, I'm going to do that. And so I called my wife and I said, hey, you need to set up a time. I think it's, you know, more formal if a woman to woman talk, you know, than man to woman. So she did that and we set it up and I'm sitting with her at the table, kind of like this setting here. And Donna just started crying. And she said, Rod, we have an opportunity for you.
Wow.
I said, please tell me what that is, because I'm eager to know, you know, I'm here because God ordained me to be here. You know,
right.
So she said, how would you like to be a coach? I said, I'm ready now. I'm ready now, you know.
Wow.
So she said, okay. She's like, hold on, let me talk to Charlie Rogers, which he's the head football coach.
Yes.
That man wears a lot of hats,
yes.
But he's a wonderful man. And Mr. Townsend, which is the head of school. And so they talked with him, and I brought my resume up. 3 days after that conversation, that encounter with Dr. Humphreys, I was at the school in an interview. And one of the main things I remember them asking me, they said, so, okay, Rod, why should you have this job? I said, why shouldn't I have this job? I'm here because God opened this door.
Yes.
And so you shouldn't hire or look at any more candidates. I'm your guy. And so
I love that confidence.
I'm 100% confident that I can get the job done for what you're looking for. So Charlie gives me a date. Coach Rogers gives me a date of when I need to report. And at that time, I had already given my, it's weird. You give a 2 weeks notice for a job. I gave a month and a half notice.
Oh, wow.
And that's unheard of. So I ended up serving only 5 of those weeks, 5 of the 6 weeks. And because it was a higher demand for me to be there. You know, they needed to meet me. They needed to get my wheels turning and things in the right direction and get me with the football team. And so Coach Rogers said, hey, you know, you're more than welcome to observe or dive in. Oh, I dove in. That's the only way I know.
Yes.
You know, I dove in and the guys accepted me. That made it even better. And, you know, I coached the running backs. That was my thing last year. I coached the running backs. And I helped Coach Bobby here, you know, on defense as much as possible and then help on the offensive side of it. So I was like a round table assistant, you know, but my main thing was running backs. And we had a phenomenal year.
Absolutely.
You know, Coach Eubanks.
Yes. That's an incredible story, Rod. I appreciate you sharing that. Probably some of the difficulty that you had is perfect now to mentor young men and try to steer them and keep them on the right path.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Well, I was going to introduce, but why don't you, Coach? You want to tell me about these 2 players, and then we'll talk to them if y'all want to introduce them to us?
Sure. Nate is the leader of the team. Whatever Nate recommends, and that's what we do. He's a beast in the weight room. I can't remember, 450 on the squats. How much on the bench press?
Close to 300.
Yeah, close to 300. The deadlift, I think he did that day.
500.
He did 500
goodness.
on the deadlift. He's played every position, offense, defense. He never comes off the field. You know, in 8-man football, normally there's several guys that they don't ever come off the field, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on every specialty team.
Right.
So he contributes on every part of the team.
Yeah.
Offense, defense, special team. Anything you ask Nate to do, he does it. And he doesn't have no in his vocabulary.
Yes.
Yes, Coach. Well, anything you need, yes.
That's awesome.
I just can't say enough about his attitude,
That's awesome.
his desire to win.
Yes.
And he's just a great kid.
That's awesome. But do you still have the weight clubs like the 1,000 pound, 1,500 pound, 2,000 pound?
We've been talking about that.
Because he would be in, I was trying to do the math in my head.
He'd be
Remember the stations.
He'd
be in the 1,500
It's
pound
funny you
club.
mention that because when I was a head coach at Lakeside, Hot Springs Lakeside,
Yes.
we had the shirts that
Yeah, we had them.
clubs.
Yes.
And it's an
Yes.
honor to
Yes.
have those. We need to start that.
It is, yeah. I never made it out of the 800 pound club, but I was very proud to be in the 800 pound club.
Rod did that on the squat, so.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, he definitely had me beat. Yeah, absolutely. So
Just, I can't say enough about Nate. He's just
awesome.
one of those special kids that come around ever so often. You just really cherish the time that you're with him. And
absolutely.
Brandon, don't make Brandon mad, okay? No, in football terms, a dog, it's a compliment.
Absolutely.
When you say that guy's a dog,
Yes.
I don't want your listeners to
Yeah.
think a dog's
Right.
But when you think of Brandon, man, he's intense.
Yes.
And when he gets on the field and he's involved in the play, it's and sometimes he lets that overrun into the aggression. And to me, that was one of my issues. I always played real fast and aggressive. And
Yes.
Brandon, he's a quieter player.
Yes.
He shows by example. He
Awesome.
doesn't have to tell you; he's going to show it to you,
Yes.
and his actions are going to prove that he stands by what he preaches. So,
Absolutely.
just a great kid. I love
Absolutely.
both those guys to death, and Coach Rod too. Coach Rod, I've coached in college, Northeast Louisiana University. I was a head coach at Lakeside, and I've told the players and Coach Rod and Coach Rogers, these are two of the best coaches
Wow.
that I've coached with.
That's
at,
amazing.
At any level.
Even at the college level, that's
at any level. These
that's
guys,
high praise.
They're super coaches.
That's great.
These two guys, I'm extreme. I think both of these guys can play college football.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's just a matter of them, their desire.
Right.
If they want to do it, I
Right.
think it's there for both of
Absolutely.
them. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't we talk to you first, Brandon, a little bit. You were on the team last year as a junior, I guess. Is that right? Tell me about last season. How did that feel to go on a 9-game winning streak, and how did you contribute to the team?
Well, I didn't think the season would go as good as it did. Honestly, I got moved to running back. Never played it ever. My entire time playing football.
Wow.
And then first game, I had a rough start kind of, but in the middle of the game, I kind of had like a mental breakdown. Struggled a lot with talking back to the coaches, kind of.
Yes.
Think after halftime, I kind of just said to myself that I'm gonna just play football, and by the end of the game, had 4 touchdowns. Almost broke the school record, had 5, but kind of.
In the second half, you scored 4 touchdowns in the first game.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. That's after having a rough first half. Wow. So something clicked at halftime. Did one of these coaches give a great halftime speech, or was it just something that just happened internally?
Oh, well, Coach Rogers talked to me, and I just had to click into it and get into the mindset that I just got to play football and
Absolutely.
stay out of my head. And after that game, on to the next other 8 games that we won, it was the same thing happening every single game. Multiple touchdowns. Also played defense. They can tell you how I played on defense.
Yes.
But it was a great season, and I'm very happy that I got the chance to play with them.
Absolutely. You're a linebacker? Multiple positions. Okay, I was a linebacker. I played at McClellan High School, so I kind of have a tender spot in my heart for linebackers. But absolutely. So you got this season coming up. I know you must be, how well you did last season, you have to be looking very forward to this season and hoping that you can do it again and maybe go on and win the championship this year.
Yes, sir. My goal is to do better than I did last year. I don't want anything less. I don't want the same thing. I've always want to do better.
Yeah.
That's my mentality.
Absolutely. Well, I know your coaches believe in you, and they brought you in here today. I said, can you bring a couple of your best players? So they believe in you, and I'm really looking forward to the season that y'all have coming up here.
Sir.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm honored. Next, we have Nate Minton down here, and the coach introduced a few moments ago. And Nate, really just kind of the same thing. Talk about last season and your position and how you contributed to the team.
Well, last year we were short on linemen, so I actually played left guard. So I was on the line on offense, blocking for Brandon, pulling for him.
Wow.
And we had a good run offense last year. We scored a lot of touchdowns off run. We were pretty run heavy, but we could also pass, so we had that option. And then on defense, I was the middle linebacker for the whole season.
All right.
And then I'd say last year I was more defense strong, leading the defense in tackles. But
That's awesome.
yes, sir, that was our main thing. And then going into this year, we're still trying to figure out if I'm going to be running back or quarterback between me and Brandon. So we'll be one or the other. But it's nice also having that option to switch anytime.
Right.
So it'll be a good year. And then we lost a few guys, but I think we'll be pretty strong this year. We have a good line. We can run the ball.
Good. I looked at your roster. You have quite a few guys playing. That's a very strong roster.
Yes, sir.
So, and you got different classmen, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and of course the two of you are seniors. So, well, I was a linebacker, and we had the defense where we had three linebackers, and I was the middle linebacker. I think that's the most fun position on the field because you can both play the run game for tackles, and then we also had where we could try to intercept the ball, and cover some receivers. So it's kind of hard though because you had to try to read the offense and what they were doing. But well, man, how exciting! And so. I've looked at your schedules, and I'll just kind of open this up to everyone, but I've looked at your schedule, and you got some really good games. I guess you start with an away game against Dermont, so you got that's a pretty good little drive to go down to Dermont. And what are they saying about Dermont? Is that a good game to open with?
So I believe it is a very good game for our guys to open up with. I mean, I just started sharing the film with them, and we started dissecting it a little bit more. We haven't had a film session with the guys quite yet. That's coming pretty soon. But this team does offer a lot of speed. I mean, these guys can move very shifty if we're not careful. And going a little bit over our heads, I mean, these guys can really take away what we expect for us to do.
Yes.
But, watching them on film, I'm not going to say that we should go in there and just overtake anything. I mean,
Sure,
we still have to strap it up and line up against one another. So I do believe that this will be a really good opener for our guys,
right?
To see where we are coming out of fall break.
That's awesome. And then I think you've got the next week off, and then you have your first home game. I think it's around September 5th or something like that against Crossover Prep. I'm not familiar with Crossover Prep, but
team from Oklahoma.
Okay.
I mean, Brandon has seen him in basketball. We've seen that. But these guys, they played a game before we did in the championship. And, we got a chance to sit down and watch them a little bit as, we were preparing and getting out there, getting the guys wrapped up to play against Sunrise. But Crossover Prep, honestly, I have not seen any film on them yet, but I believe that our guys will be prepared.
Absolutely.
To step up.
I'm planning on coming to one of your games and doing a podcast from there, maybe trying to get some video footage. I hope it's Crossover Prep, but I don't know. I have to talk to my wife about my schedule, so
I don't want to get in trouble.
No, I don't want to get in trouble or make promises I can't keep. But it's it's been around for a little while, but I'd like to talk really with all of you, or just open it up about 8-man football and kind of how it's similar to 11-man, kind of the opportunities that it provides for a school like Abundant Life, maybe how it's similar to 11-man, how it's different from 11-man, and I'd love to talk about that just a little bit.
Okay. Everybody looked at me first. It's fine. But 8-man ball, I mean, I've never played it. I'm used to the traditional 11-on-11, where you have all the positions on the field at one time. But however, 8-man ball is just as competitive. The rules are still the same. The only thing is you shrink 5 yards on each sideline, and you still run 100 yards.
Okay.
Nothing changes about the game. I mean, you still have pass interference. You still have holding calls. You still have roughing the passer. It's just, you might have some cones unless the football field is prepared for 8-man.
Yeah.
So it's still just as competitive.
I got you. What positions do you generally not see with 8 men than 11? I guess you have to eliminate some positions. Or
You don't see tackles.
Tackles,
on
okay.
the offensive line. I mean, to accommodate that, you'll have a tight end unless you, like us, we're a run-heavy team. So you'll see more guys on the line to make sure that, we get some hats on the opposing team's hats.
And then it's 8-man football. I know a lot of football in Arkansas. When I was in high school, we were running teams. We grounded out. We didn't never threw the ball unless we had to.
Right.
But I know all the teams are moving more to passing. Do you see that in 8-man? Do you on defense? Do you have more people playing secondary or more on the line, or how does that work?
So it really depends on your formation. Everything is about the formation.
Right.
So, you still have your 4 DBs in the backfield. You still have, you'll have essentially one linebacker. You got 4 DBs. You'll have one linebacker. A hybrid guy like Brandon himself, down into the box and play and move around and be very, very aggressive. But, you run with a base defense with like three guys on the line.
Okay.
Which you'll see a lot of that.
Okay.
So, you still have a lot of your same positions. You'll have a lot of skill set guys on the sideline that can come in and accommodate the play in the backfield.
Okay. So, Nate, playing on the line in 8-man, do you just pretty much, do you have a sort of an assignment of who you're going to block, or there's fewer men to block, obviously, but you have fewer men blocking. So, what would you do on the offensive line?
Yes, sir. So typically, if it's a pass play, it's just the same as 8-man. You just do your stutter steps back. You make that pocket for the quarterback. It's the same. A lot of the teams we play blitz. There's some blitz-heavy teams we play from Oklahoma. So we'll just put more running backs in the backfield to help block. And then we started pulling a lot, so with certain people. So I would pull last year and then be a lead blocker for Brandon or whoever was running the ball, which was very successful. So
I was the right guard in junior high, and they did this play where they would have the center would put the ball on the ground, and I would come around like I was pulling the block, and I would pick up the ball, and it was a running play designed for the right guard. They would always call it a fumble, but it was the fumble rooski. It was a design play. So I don't know. You might talk to the coaches if you're on the line. It sounds like you're going to be quarterback or running back.
We do have a play kind of like that. We have a left guard slip.
Okay.
Where you run a corner.
Yeah.
And it worked last year.
Yeah, they usually work pretty well.
Wide open.
Yeah. I won't sit over here and draw up plays for you. As you can tell, I love football. But what about from your position, Brandon, with 8-man? What was it? Of course, I know you play more on offense and as running back. I guess there's fewer people to tackle you, but there's also fewer people blocking.
Yeah. So also, I think it's been a shorter field. That's harder than 11-man. Yes. It's also a shorter amount of people, but I think that shorter amount of field is making it harder on us. And I think if you're a good running back and you're able to score with a shorter field, I think that shows a lot more.
Absolutely. Well, it's interesting to me, and I really want to support. One of the reasons I'm doing this is really support 8-man football, because I got to coach when I was between college and law school at a small Christian school, and they were too small to have any football, and 8-man football wasn't really big then. So I think it's a great opportunity to create a football program and then really to sort of piggyback on that and maybe, to switch over if you want to, over to 11-man or to regular football. But I'm glad that it appears that 8-man football, I'm looking at some of the teams on your schedule, and it looks like you've got, a lot of teams that are playing 8-man now. And just if you can't address that, are there how many schools in Arkansas are playing 8-man, or you may not know the number, but is there are y'all in a conference, or are there other conferences, or is there just you just try to play as many 8-man throughout the state as you can, or what?
Sure. So as far as the approximate number for 8-man, not really certain of the number. I know there's a team in Bryant, Arkansas Christian Academy. We do play them. That is our rival.
Okay.
Then you have Midland. You have a lot of different public
Right.
schools that are playing 8-man ball.
Right.
We're not quite associated with them currently. I mean, we're in the HCAA.
Okay.
That does stretch all the way out to Oklahoma, and then we do play a team out in Kansas called Sunrise.
Okay.
That is a team that we have. They've been a thorn in our side.
Yes.
And it's us, Destiny, which is out of Oklahoma, and Sunrise.
Okay.
So we're really hoping that we can get a piece of Sunrise.
Okay. And now I know in 11-man in the state of Arkansas, there's playoffs. Is there something similar, or do y'all just look at the teams with the best records and have a championship game? Or how does that work to crown your champion?
So because our conference is pretty small, it seems as if everyone get a chance to get inside of the playoffs.
Okay.
There's some teams that end up outside looking in, like Trinity and a couple other different schools, which they won't have a program this year. But right now, it's going to be between us, Destiny, Sunrise, and ACA.
Okay.
And you fight for a seeding.
I see.
Last year we were the number 1 seed, and
Yeah.
I wish that there was really an idol, but you don't play that one game that they'll normally play. So
Sure.
I guess you kind of get an idle week, but it's really, really short.
I got you. Well, very good. Well, I'm excited about your upcoming season, and I wish you guys all the best on the season. I'm just curious if you guys, I know you're seniors next year. You're going to be doing something other than high school, but why don't we just start with you, Brandon? What are you hoping to do next year? Your Coach Eubanks thinks that you have the skills to play college football. Is that something that you want to do?
Absolutely. That is my goal to play football at the next level. But also, if that doesn't work, my option is still to go to college.
Absolutely. Are you looking at any in particular, or are you just sort of just wherever you can play football and get a college education?
Yes, sir. Wherever I can.
I understand. I appreciate that. And then Nate, what are your future plans?
I'd love to play football, but I've been praying about it a lot, and I think I'm just going to go to college and get a degree in engineering. And,
Oh, wow.
my dad has an engineering firm, and I'm going to try to take that over.
Great.
So.
Well, man, what great plans for both of you, and I think that's wonderful, and you got great plans for the future. And I just real quick, kind of to sort of wrap up, I'm just wondering what impact faith has on you as athletes, and how how you use that sports maybe as a platform to reach others through your faith, or just address your faith in sports, if you will. We can hear from all of you on that, but I think you guys have addressed it a little bit, but maybe just hear from you guys.
Yes, sir. So me, I came from schools that wasn't really Christian. They're not Christian at all, actually. And moved to Abundant Life in the 10th grade. The school has really impacted my entire family and impacted me a lot. And on the football team, every single coach has also impacted me. They helped me strengthen my faith. I can say that a lot of people from my church also know in our school and go to the school, and they helped me a lot. Going to church, I always went to church, but it's always been just because my mom tells me to go. Now I seriously go because I want to learn more.
That's awesome. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah. Nate, what about you?
I also came from public schools, so I switched over when I switched over to Abundant Life in my freshman year. I started noticing a big change in. I played public school football, so the coaching was different. I mean, most of the coaches I had, I didn't look up to, but these coaches are way different. I mean, those are the people I want to strive to be. And yeah, it's really impacted me going to this school. It strengthened my faith. My whole family's, my siblings go there, and it's changed a lot.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I love coupling faith with sports. That's what we did in our inner city ministry for years. And the reason we're doing this podcast really is to try to sell the book, The Bible, the Basketball, and the Briefcase, because we want to reach more kids through sports and introduce them to faith and to do those things. But this is the Bible, the Basketball, and the Briefcase, and today we've kind of focused on sports, which we love, and especially this time of year on football more than on basketball.
Could we rename it the Bible football?
We can do that today, and we did play football in the inner city too. So we could certainly could have called it that, and certainly rename it that today. But just for a quick law section to kind of close us out, I am assisting high school students with name, image, likeness now. I think we visited about that, Coach Eubanks. And so there are a lot of the gray areas have been settled with a new court case that was decided. So it's become a lot easier, I think, on universities and on students as far as recruitment. But there are still name, image, and likeness. And so we are, me and one of our attorneys here in this law firm, Valerie Gowdy, are visiting with high school students who want to play at the next level, and many times we are able to come and visit with them. We've represented a couple of really incredible athletes, a 4-star and a 5-star athlete. One is headed to Miami University to play after his senior year next year, and the others he's going into the 10th grade, so he's not old enough yet to make a decision, but
Y'all see it in him, though, right?
See it in him as well, and so. But we don't just help kids like that. I mean, we want to help kids that are going Division III or Division II, because there's honestly some of the best NFL players came from Division II schools, and so that you don't have to be a D1 athlete to get to the next level. But we want to help and focus some of our law practice on helping students get ready for college, and then also with NIL. So that's something that we're hoping to do more of. So. That's the law segment. But guys, we thank you so much for being here today. It is a privilege to have you here. I'm going to pray that a cold front comes through in mid-August, probably when you start practicing, that it might be a little cooler for you, because I always remember how tough that was when you go out in August to start again. But you mind if maybe we could say a prayer for your season and just kind of close out with prayer. God, we thank you for these coaches and for these students, Lord. I just pray for their season. Again, God, I just pray that you would give a special blessing to Brandon Walker and to Nate Minton, God, as they help lead this team. I pray that you'd keep them from injury, God. I pray that you would bless their attitude, their outlook, Lord. Just help them as they try to accomplish an important goal, Lord, and to be part of a team and to lead a team. Thank you for their statements of faith, God, that sports is definitely a platform for us to get to demonstrate our faith in you, and I just pray that you would give them opportunities to do that. God, thank you for Coach Weaver, for his story, the work that you've done in his life, and just incredible that you have him now in Central Arkansas, and what a winding path to get him here, but what an honor to have a man like this in our state and to be assisting and mentoring young men. And God, thank you for Coach Eubanks, God, just so much wisdom, and has been around coaching and helping young people for so long. And God, we just pray special blessings on these coaches as well. And Lord, as they invest into the lives of young people, I pray that you would bless their children and their families as well. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Guys, thank you so much for coming. We'll get word to you on when this is going out, and we'll send copies of this to you as well. I'm so honored to have you here today.